Hello, how's it going, everybody? This is Anise. Thanks for checking out my Patreon page. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the updates about Anime Deco, about what's happening on the blog, what's happening on the YouTube channel, and all of that pretty much right here on Patreon. And I'm also going to create a YouTube playlist for these updates. And that way, whoever checks the Patreon will find these little updates, but they may or may not be posted elsewhere. At some point, I want to create an exclusive set of videos that's going to be available basically initially just for my Patreon supporters, and so that those ideas have yet to be developed. So at this point, if you have any suggestions, I'm open to suggestions and ideas. So really, the sky's the limit. Whatever you want, we can see if we can make that happen. So in terms of my schedule for the week, in terms of YouTubing, what have I got planned? So today I had a really fun conversation with my friend Yvonne, and I was expecting it just to be a one-off thing, but it turns out that we really have like a great energy when we're just having a discussion about anime, and we just had a lot of fun. And so she's going to be back on the show. I hope that she ends up being a regular host on Anime Deco. It depends how much time she has and if our schedules end up being compatible. So we'll see how that works out. Tomorrow I've got Nina Evans coming on to the show. Tomorrow's Thursday, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. It's always fun when you make friends through anime groups, and so that's certainly the case with Nina. She's going to be telling me all about probably the girliest anime that you can possibly imagine, and that's Sailor Moon. So I have no knowledge of the world of Sailor Moon at all, so that should be kind of neat, because she's pretty much of a goofball, and so anything that she has to say, I'm sure, will be pretty interesting, to say the least. So that's coming up tomorrow. Over the weekend, in terms of content, I think I'm going to be taking some time to do some Gunpla content. I know that I'm visiting my parents this weekend, so I'll be away from my little workshop here, and so I'll probably bring the Petit Bear guy with me and work on that at home. While hanging out with the family, that kind of thing. So I'll post probably just maybe some basic tutorials on how to remove nubs from a Gunpla, or so some straightforward sort of stuff. So that'll likely be what happens this weekend. And starting next week, we're going to be back to a regular show schedule. And with Simon and Nico, usually we all have some time to do the Anime Deco podcast on Saturdays. So I think we're going to go back to a Saturday schedule. Last week, we actually recorded it. In fact, I still have to add in the video part, or rather the visual part. The audio part of the podcast has been edited and is now ready to be uploaded. So I'm going to be working on that tomorrow. And so from now on, I think we're just going to be live streaming it. I just love this live streaming business. It's just so easy. You sit in front of your webcam, you've got your mic set up and everything, and then you can just stream live. It's not exactly always perfect. You can't. There's no retakes or anything like that. But apart from that, it's just it's the instant nature of the medium that I really appreciate. So that's certainly going to be the way forward for us. Aside from that, I think. I guess I'd like to know if you guys are interested in some Let's Watch type videos. That could be interesting. I find that I have less and less time to watch new anime the more and more I'm kind of developing content for Anime Deco. I'm spending a lot of time organizing, writing, designing graphics and stuff like that. And so, and then of course I'm working on my Gunpla models, and then there's my real life. All this stuff is just a hobby, and so with life's responsibilities and everything, time is limited. So I think maybe a Let's Watch would be cool, because it's a chance to create probably a funny and interesting video of me and my friends watching anime and recording reactions and stuff like that. So that might be something that would be effective, in the sense that it would give me an excuse to watch some of the new stuff, and then also have Let's Watches. People seem to like Let's Watches, so that might be interesting. In terms of Star Conflict content, gaming content, I haven't actually been playing recently because I've been busy, but yeah, I think I will definitely get back to that game once my friend Ed in Vancouver installs it, and then we'll be playing online. Ed and I are also quite a piece of work when you put those two characters together. He's really, really funny, and we have very much the same crazy sense of humor, so I'm sure those matches will be quite interesting to watch. So that's going to be happening probably into next week. In terms of unboxings, I still have a few things left to unbox. As you can see, a lot of these boxes I haven't opened yet, and so that'll be happening. Also, I'll be starting to work on my Gundam Barbatos likely next week, because I'm still wrapping up the finishing touches on my Big Gun Zaku. That may take even more than a week, because it takes time for paint to cure, and so only after it's cured can it be sanded. So sometimes that can take up to a day. Like today, I couldn't really do anything, so I'm waiting for all my parts to cure. So yeah, on the Gunpla side, that's pretty much what's happening. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to do a shop tour tomorrow of Sci-Fi Anime here in Montreal. It's a local store. It's owned by a friend of mine, Lou Chan. So if you've had a chance to check out that shop already, then that's great. Otherwise, I'll be giving you guys a guided tour along with the owner. Hopefully tomorrow, unless his schedule has changed. Either way, I'm going to update that, as it becomes available. I also did a shop tour yesterday of Udisco Hobbies, the largest scale model wholesaler in Canada. So if you've ever bought a scale model kit in Canada at any hobby shop, chances are at some point it came through Udisco. And so they carry mostly Mount Cherry models, but also airplane models, civil airplane, civil aviation, car model kits, a lot of cars, a lot of race cars and road cars, motorcycles, of course, ships, trains, and radio-controlled cars and airplanes. And so, yeah, it's a really amazing two-story warehouse, actually. And so I think I've been able to condense the experience of, shopping at Udisco in maybe just 4 minutes, I hope. So hopefully I've done a good job of that. It's in about 30 different tiny little video clips, so it's going to be a very fast-paced, quick-cut kind of deal. But that's really the mood that I was feeling at the time. So I think that should be pretty good for the Udisco tour. So that was really great. Keep in mind though that the owner Dorn didn't want any of the staff's faces to be in the video for their privacy, and so as a result, you won't see me really talking to anyone or anything, but that's the kind of shop tour that he wanted, and so naturally, I respected his wishes. So that's going to be pretty cool, and that's all in HD, so it's in much better quality than the video of me you're watching right now. Which brings me to the technical side of Anime Deco. So on the technical side, you know, of course, since I'm still doing this as a hobby, I'd love to do this full time at some point because it's just so much fun. But for now, I'm just pretty much working with the tools that I have, and I have this Microsoft LiveCam that's a few years old, you know, it's pretty rudimentary. It's not really HD or anything like that. But at some point, it would be really nice to get an HD webcam, and then maybe a high quality mic which has built-in echo cancellation. This one has noise cancellation. It's actually a Sony voice recorder that I've managed to get to work as a podcasting microphone. Actually, a number of the podcasts that I recorded and then had to edit, the first couple of episodes of Anime Deconstructed, were done on this mic. So the mic is a very high quality mic. The only thing is that for live streaming, it has some limitations. It doesn't do the echo canceling, as I said earlier, but also it has it runs off of batteries. So I've just been going through batteries like nobody's business, and so that's not exactly very green, but you know, it's what I've got to work with. The built-in one and the USB camera is obviously not as good. So so that's pretty much what that's all about. So yeah, but if you do support the channel on Patreon, I know that people on YouTube, viewers, really like to see high quality video. So certainly that'll be one of the first things that I think I should invest in, would be to get a better camera so that you guys can have a more crisp image with you know, better colors and so on and so forth. And so that will be certainly something that I should start sort of making moves on, and to see you know, what we can do. Aside from that, in terms of the technical setup, I mean, I'm happy with my PC that I built. It's overpowered for what I use it for anyway, so it's perfect. And I've got a great gaming mouse and gaming keyboard. And I mean, aside from that, you don't really need a whole lot to do a podcast. To be honest, it's not very elaborate setup. So yeah, I mean, I guess those two things would pretty much be would be the only upgrades that I would you know, do at this point. And aside from that, am I forgetting anything? So I've started contacting companies that distribute anime-related products, to see if they would be interested in sponsoring the show. And so that is slow progress. So far, I haven't really received any news that that is really worth sharing at all. So there hasn't really been a whole lot of willingness there, but again, some of these companies are small companies, so they don't necessarily exactly have the budget to you know, send out a whole whack load of free stuff to every single YouTuber, as I'm sure there are a number of YouTubers that do request, hey, you know, why don't you send me some cool stuff and I'll promote your products. So you know, we'll take it as it comes. So we'll see how it goes. And you know, when I do have some news on that, and we're getting, you know, some free stuff or some giveaways or whatnot, I'd really like to be able to share that news with you. But you're going to hear about it here first. So that's pretty much where that's at. And oh, actually, I've been invited to go to the International Plastic Modeling Society's next meeting, which is like a building meeting. They hang out and build plastic models together, and that's on Friday night. So I may do some content from that gathering. I think it should be pretty interesting. There's probably going to be some really gifted builders at that meeting, because you know, that's the nature of the beast when it comes to IPMS. They're very good builders, and very serious about the kind of the models that they build. So I think I have a lot to learn, and that's going to be a lot of fun for me, learning something new. So I think that's about it. That kind of covers what I wanted to share with you guys. And so I'll do this on a once-a-week basis just a quick touching base and letting you guys know what's going down and what's to come. So thanks for watching. Please do support the show. I would really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. And as always, stay frosty.